Well, guys, we are so happy you're here. We have a lot to share with you, but we have a really big week planned. We're just so glad to have you here. First of all, we met Jennifer in 2018 when we first started Expeditions in Education and Working in the Park. We met her virtually. She sent us a video from herself standing on the steps into the cave, and she introduced herself, and we put that out there pretty quickly.
So would you please welcome our dear friend Jennifer Shackelford.
Hi everyone, I'm so tickled to have y'all here. I absolutely love what I do. It's my dream job. I can honestly say that. I came here on my 4th grade field trip. They just seen my email. It says, have you found your park? And mine says, I found it on my 4th grade field trip to Mammoth Cave way back when. So I took kind of the long route. I went to school and I ended up teaching school for 9 years, and I loved teaching. But today we are going to do kind of a geology 101 lesson, okay? We're going to learn about Mammoth Cave and weathering and erosion as it relates to Mammoth Cave. Not a whole lot happens, but once.
As we gather in this awe-inspiring setting, we invite you to step out of your comfort zones. Embrace the unfamiliar and lean on one another, which is a transformative experience. And that's not just bragging, that's what's happening with people. And we hope when you leave, that's what you feel. Hello world, the song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Amen. Yes.
Give all teachers.
I've got what practice, but I'm eating.
Don't cross the line. Yep.
Don't touch it. Yeah, so yeah, my pet peeve is people touching and picking up my feet without question.
I went to Chuck E. Cheese. I was Chucky. Yeah, I guess where you're from. Okay. All right. Bigger city.
Mexico.
Yeah. Beautiful water. Yeah.
Well, I was just down there, so the detail in Texas.
Okay, this one's going to be a little. My father.
The game of cones.
Game of cones. Can we move ours away from the wall? Because we're kind of close to the wall and everybody else.
Like there's no more left.
And I mean, can we all
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, backwards.
Everybody drop it.
So we're straight to your left.
Over on there.
And then I go one more.
Okay.
If it does not go on the first time, go back.
So like,
Give us our comment.
have to lower and you guys have
Woo!
You're great.
There it is. There it is.
Wednesday, and that's the only thing they had to decorate their Christmas tree. And so it just means so much to me.
This is my crew. So I have a 6-year-old who graduated kindergarten this morning. So we went to go, this was at his.
So we are looking at goal number 6, clean water and sanitation.
Yes, we're gonna give you a little taste. So we've got mimic makers, biomimicry inventors inspired by nature. Why do maple seeds twirl when they fall? How does a gecko walk on walls? Mimic makers wonder how nature works.
The Shinkansen, he shaped the nose of the train like the kingfisher's beak. This design streamlined the booming train into a quiet ride that flies faster and uses less energy.
And see if you see anything out there that is mimicked in your everyday life. I want you to be free sort of with that. Just 10 minutes, I'll bring you back in. Don't go too far, stay on the sidewalk. I am lovable. I am kind. I am kind. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here.
All right, good night, everybody. Love you, and let's do this again tomorrow.
Given the girl John's name. So a couple things. So who are you? So we're going to start off with Yolanda.
I'm originally from Louisiana, but I live in Texas now. I've been there 8 years. And so this is my family. These are my boys.
So just to start off, like those are pictures of my immediate family. So the picture of me in the front, that's me last year at Bryce Canyon. So it was my first.
Let's do this for just a couple minutes.
Look at us, actually playing Scrabble.
We'll get it.
We need a second.
Here we go. Grab.
Guys, not everyone's gonna get one, so just try to keep the lanterns like once we get to just kind of scattered throughout the group so you all have light. So who wants to hold the lantern? You wanna hold the lantern? Sure. You wanna hold the lantern? Yeah, it's really bad for the bats. So it's a fungus that actually like grow on their nose and their wings. So doing the Violet City tour. This one's gonna be about 3 miles. We're gonna be going up and down. We're gonna go down about, I think it's 60 or so stairs initially, so we'll take our time down that. And then after that, we'll have a few more stairs on the way back out. Yes. In here, you may feel the cool air coming up. I get warm enough that I don't really need a jacket. Ranger Lily gets cool enough that she does need a jacket. You're hearing stuff for the thing, I'm sorry. But we are at the entrance of the I'm going to go down the stairs. Go ahead and if you take a photo, just stop walking, fall down the stairs. You're going to take the rest of us with you, right? It should be a lot of fun. We'll get you guys some cute pictures. And it'll be a good time. Is everyone feeling good?
Yeah. Oh, this is the cricket heaven here. Cricket heaven.
And down to something we call the church.
We may not return.
Well, we really aren't returning.
This way, yeah.
My youngest child was born in 84.
Because I mean, I know that. Oh, I was gonna say they have very aware there's fake lights.
You get into different areas, the wonder if like it gets darker.
In an area we call the Methodist Church or the church. You see a lot of signatures in the cave. This is all historic graffiti. This was all done in about the 1800s. This guy, Cameron, if you could turn the lights out in 3, 2, and 1. A candle would be good enough to take us through. If we give it a second, your eyes may adjust, right? All right. So this is how they would have was being in the cave if the cold cave air would cure your tuberculosis. Spoiler, it does not. So it is a really, really sad part of our history, but he actually keep up on a lot of the history here. And some of the accounts, they wouldn't even write the word devils in there because they're like, oh, that's bad, we're not going to do that. Now we just say this is a devil looking glass. A lot of people have their own little ghost stories here in Mammoth Cave. I don't have any stories to share with you today. But this is a really cool way to show off the signatures as well. This is an area we call Wright's Rotunda. Rock monuments, but this is one where they also kind of built their little monuments there themselves. It went through a lot of ownership. It's a very complex story of the ownership and who owned it up. And this is actually one of the biggest rooms in Mammoth Cave. We have evidence of people in here about 5,000 years ago. And about 5,000 to 2,000 years ago, we know people were exploring this cave. A man named Warren got the cave. And Lauren is one of those early, he's using the cave for tourism at that time. So he's doing some of the early cave tours, which started ready.
Don't go past the
All right. So we obviously saw the evidence of the people that were coming in here. That's really these people we know were coming this far back into the cave thousands of years ago, those prehistoric people. So this obviously, we're gonna have a lot of formations.
I think I sent you one more picture after that. I was teacher of the year for our.
I would love to just continue. I have 2 kids. I have a son who's a petroleum engineer, and then my daughter who's ex-following my
art teacher, artist, and she was going to do this watercolors on the rim. Everyone's very excited.
We're going to pat it dry. So the plate has to be pat it dry with a paper towel. The wet surfaces stick to the roll.
Ooh, now we're having pancakes.
Pressing it gently down.
Thank you. Makes it go better.
We put this for the air dry.
So in the middle of your table, you have
You take 1 minute and 32 seconds and answer that question with your teammate.
There's skies in color one. So you got gray, red, and clear.
This time it can be, remember this whole thing is called poetry, paint chip poetry. When I was little.
For my personal life, those are my parents. They're wearing those silly little hats on us, but just 2.
Because that is what I teach. And when I moved into my role, I didn't have any videos.
Or the poetry one. But one thing, we're gonna kind of wrap with this, but I also want to lead with this too. And you all led us to it so beautifully. We want you all to have freedom in this to do what your brain needs. We actually talked about that on this.
Okay, it's the Canadian goose, which we saw when we came in the park today. Or yesterday, the other day, whatever. Necks are long and black. Teaching babies to swim. Webbed feet are black. Collecting stray geese as they swim. The white chin strap on the head that is black. Water-resistant feathers as they swim.
Misunderstood. I wonder if people really appreciate your beauty. Even though you can be cold, dark, and damp, there are some hidden gems seen only with the right eyes. Eyes willing to search the darkness and look beyond the surface. Searching your depths, exposing the essence of your presence. Not always understanding how you come to be, but appreciating the intricate complexities needed to birth your many beautiful levels. Rocks to some may look haphazardly placed, but each one carefully situated to give a mosaic picture, a story of your life that only you can tell. Everything you have been through exposed, all coming together into an intricate picture of resilience. No cave the same, because your experiences carve out your purpose. I wonder if people think about this when they look at it.
Okay. I noticed the world dissolving behind me as I moved down. Heat becomes chilly, sound becomes soft, white light turns to orange glow. I noticed my own feelings softening, hardness.
And then stopped working and became a university professor, which is a much easier job. And I did that for the last 20 years, and officially I'm retired. My title is I am an emeritus master teacher of West Creek University, which means I get to keep an office, I work a day or 2 a week. How many fists is there between the dark roof line and where the moon is?
See on mine it shows up separate. Yours will look like this, and it'll come up separate with mine. Okay.
Well, you go to well, you go to Parkish.
Tell you what, there's if you really want to buy one before you buy, there's another.
So good morning, all my steaming Parkers, and welcome to day 3. We are halfway through, which is sad but also exciting that you guys are truly bonding into this really tight-knit group.
Let's go back to the beginning, my poor roommate Pam was here.
That's what
My daughter.
these pictures are funny because this is my husband and I over here. We went to Red Fair this past Sunday and we both dressed up as Link.
They snatch is going to be the person who grabs the dice. Clap, clap, snatch. Oh.
Maybe I need more coffee before.
Snatch.
Oh,
Yeah. Slap, 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 slap.
What? Slap?
Slap. All right, ready? Snatch. Oh. Snap, 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 snap. Boom, 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 boom. Be a lot, so hang with me. Ready? Snatch.
This is Chris
McDowell.
McDowell. He's been here for 10 years and he's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
A little bit about myself.
He has 5 kids and he's still
It was the
single.
winter of 1978. The world was blessed with my birth. No, so I've had this question several times about, is this my first park, only park, all those things. So I've been here about 10 years and this is the only national park I've worked at. Right there, and you pretty much nailed it. So a karst karst environment is one where you have a soluble bedrock, a bedrock that will dissolve. So typically that's going to be things like limestone, which is all over the park. Lower the edge of the pan into the water.
Okay. That'll be ice. Oh, yeah. I want to test that actually.
And now you have some nice clear water to start working with.
Okay.
But if you reach into the tub at all, it's best to have a glove on if we're going to keep the dragonflies.
Can I get some blood?
Absolutely. Really, really well. You can suck almost every bit of the oxygen out of water. So.
Yeah.
I don't know what a pawpaw is. I'm from Texas. So the pawpaw is one of the only, well, the only tropical fruit that grows this far north. And this rat snake is a typical insect and small bird eater. Completely harmless, actually great for the ecosystem, and one of the most abundant snakes.
I'm an outdoor education teacher and I teach 9th through 12th grade. I teach outdoor education.
I'm Carrie Rodolfi. I send all the pictures in a haphazard way, so we'll just kind of go as they come.
And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Brandy.
A lot of pressure. So I'm Brandy Button Johnson, and I'm actually married to and met my husband out here at Mammoth Cave, Josh.
Obviously, if you're feeling unstable, reach out, touch whatever you need to. We are going to go through something called Fat Man's Misery. I heard about y'all's cave tour yesterday. I'm just looking at behind you. What'd you say? the cap rock, 426 miles of cave. And this is how. You got a passage there, you got a passage here, you got a passage there, you got 2 passages there. All of this is individual cave passages, but all part of one cave. And so lots of videos we took on here.
You made it.
That was fantastic. 2, 1. Stephen Bishop crosses the bottomless pit, makes it through Batman's misery, and eventually gets to the bottom, a place called Mammoth Dome. He walks in, looks up how big it is, and looks down at the floor, and there sits an angel. And he knows that he has found the connection between upper cave and lower cave.
Yeah,
I'll do the big.
Yellow patches are exciting.
Just sit here like a tree. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Here.
So it doesn't seem like you turn up
This is so weird.
Show her.
Show me. What?
I'm setting you up.
That way.
American.
What? Red Eagles.
Okay, one more word.
Okay. I'm gonna laugh too hard. Hold on.
Yes.
Canadian goose.
It's a goose.
Quiet.
No mouth.
Zip.
Wide as a mouth.
Mute swan, mute swan.
They have unmistakable noises, such as.
What's their mute?
And. Not to be outdone by the.
I approached my principal before the pandemic about the class. I had like this presentation. I did 20 years. I was a social studies teacher. I also worked for, because teachers don't make a lot of money, I also worked for the state.
50 lessons from those ideas because they represented 14
with the bridge.
Yeah, I would stay. And then sometimes when I'm like one time. Well, yeah, I would do like yes, but there's even wider balls. So I would almost start with a ping pong ball first.
Table, there'll be time enough for having when the deal is done.
Oh, wait, that was it. What I'm looking for.
So it's like Yahtzee, where you're rolling dice to do things. 100 points.
But just by, I mean, keep it.
So you guys are so you gotta
About geology. What about this says there's probably a cave in there? Not much.
And what immediately you are faced with some of the most amazing Brookstone formations. You've got flowstones, stalactites, stalagmites, little soda straws all over the sea. The effects of hands on rocks. right? So if you did that in here, that's what it's going to do. Now, you do see some black lines, but that black is natural.
It's a fairly constant 54 degrees Fahrenheit in here. So you should never have any ice development in the cave.
Shaft. We have big, dry cave passage. So, based on what you've learned over the last few days, what happened? Perfect. You all So, when we were looking at the cave entrance, the hill behind it was going up, right? And Joe stuck this one there. So, here we have a stalactite, a bunch of stalactites. This coming back is going to look completely different again. So, you get so many different opportunities to lure people into the game. And if you want to show off all the highlights of your trip, you've got to buy a whole.
That planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never left to see. Just a small town girl, living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Oh, come all ye young people and listen while I tell the fate of Floyd Collins, a lad we all knew well. His face was fair and handsome, his heart was true and brave. His body now lies sleeping in a lonely sandstone cave.
And not for anyone else.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. I don't get one. I think you
get one for
everybody.
everybody.
I'm just kidding. Hold your rope out straight. Both hands like that.
Okay. Take the loop
down.
And
Okay.
you're going to in the front. It's going to look like the number 8. So a loop circle like you're making a
What do I
knot.
wrap it around? Okay, well you have your smile. Let's start back at our smile.
And then pull it tight. Alright. Okay. And that is called your. Which way did you go over, by the way?
That's it. That's overhead on a bite. That's it. Well, that's it.
Trying this again. Put it in the hole.
So for their water bottles, they have a lantern sticker. Oh, that's awesome. So can they come in?
Let's go to the corkscrew, that's where I'm gonna take you. Get off the trail and have a little fun. I'm gonna tell you about some limestone, gypsum flowers, and we're all alone. Find lost John. We'll sail Crystal Lake. I went down to the river Styx and I had a blackout. Got my fix, I threw a torch, watched it burn away. So right rise and the sun will set. The cataracts are soaking wet, and I hear those spirits calling out to me. Let's go to the corkscrew, that's where I'm gonna take you. Get off the trail and we'll have a little fun. I'm gonna tell you about some limestone, gypsum flowers. We're all alone, we'll find lost John. We'll sail Crystal Lake.
And this whole group of kids start going right down. And erosion is moving on. So we move it on. So it's kind of funny. I'll see kids out at like Walmart from years ago, and they'll be like, "I remember you, Ranger Jennifer." No.
Claire, more.
And the other thing is,
Look at this. Got you on height.
Yeah.
One, two, three.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Whatever breaks it, motion takes it.
When the motion stops, deposition drops.
All right. You gotta use your eyebrows on it too.
It's like good rhythm to post. Thumb, 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 exclamation point. Period, smiley face, kissy, kissy, kissy.